Good afternoon, boys and girls. How are you today? Welcome to Science Wonders. I just wanted to take you for a little walk outside my house. I wanted to show you what I see when I look out the window today. Come along with me. So when I look out my window, I see my deck and I see my deck bench where my friends come to sit in the summer. And then I walk out a little further and I look out at the lake. Yeah, I live on Lake Nipissing. And I walk down towards our shoreline. And I bet you can see what I see. I see the nice open water. I see the nice bright blue sky. But what I also see is ice. You got it, ice. Oh, ice is so cold. It reminds me of winter. I'm getting tired of this ice. If you listen carefully, boys and girls, you can also hear the ice. Do you hear it? That's all the little shards of ice rubbing together as the little bit of waves move the water. So if we look out onto the lake, there's not much ice out there. It's all floating in towards the shoreline. If you look at my shoreline here, you see lots of ice built up. And then we look out this way, and it's all floated into the bay, all getting stopped up by the shoreline. That is what it looks like outside my living room window. Today for Science Wonders, I thought it would be fun to do some ice melting experiments. So come back in a minute and I will show you how to do that. Welcome back, boys and girls. Well, I got out my rubber boots, I waded into the water, and I grabbed myself a nice chunk of ice. So let's get started. I have with me today some rock salt, some table salt, some warm water, and some colored water just for fun. To get started, we're going to try and see what happens to our ice. Remember, we want it to melt. If I add some warm water to it, what's going to happen? Oh, I see it. It's seeping through and it's starting to melt my ice a little bit, but I bet it's going to take a lot of water for that to happen. Next, I'm going to try my table salt. I'm just going to take a little handful and sprinkle it on top and see what happens with the ice. Then I'm going to try beside it some rock salt and see what happens. What is happening with our ice? Is it melting? I'm not sure. So right here we have our water, and then our table salt and our rock salt. Now if I add a little bit of color using my homemade eyedropper, which is just a straw with my finger on the end to pull up the color, and then I'm going to drop it on my different spots, because making it brighter with color will help me see what's happening with the salt and the water. Oops, I made green in my yellow because I added blue to it. Oh no. All right, let's have a look. Can we see what's happening? Is it starting to eat away at my ice? Ooh, it's made my rock salt very soft, but my table salt feels like ice too. I wonder if it's doing anything. I think I'm going to try and scrape some away to see what's happening under my salt. Oh my goodness, I have a little dip there. See, it used to be this, like this, and all that ice has disappeared under the salt. So the salt is helping it to dissolve. It's dissolving. Our ice is melting to dissolve and melt away. And under our rock salt, let's see, if we scrape it away, yeah, I can feel a dip, but you don't see it as well as you do on this one. Let's see, I'm going to sprinkle a whole lot on here. Let's see what happens. Sprinkle lots on. I'm going to add some color because I love colors. And it makes it pretty. So let's see what's happening. I think I'll use some green. And boys and girls, it might take a little while to see the ice melt. Because, well, ice is cold. The other thing, if you want to try this experiment at home, you don't have to live by the lake. You don't have to even worry about it being winter, spring, or summer, because you know where to find ice in your freezer. If you have an ice cube tray, you have some ice. So if you wanted to try this experiment at home, you can do that. All you need is an ice cube, and if you're in the house, I suggest you put your ice cube on a nice tray, because if you see all around me, I'm out on my dock, so it doesn't matter that it gets wet, but all around me this ice is melting and making my dock wet. So if you're doing this inside, you'll want a tray to put your ice on, so if it melts, it won't go anywhere but on the tray. So you need some warm water, some salt. It doesn't matter what kind of salt you have. If you only have table salt, that's okay, because really it seems to be working the best. And then if you want to make colors and design in your ice, all you need is food coloring. But you don't have to have that either just to see if you can melt ice with salt. So I'm going to bring the camera a little closer, boys and girls, so you can see what's happening close up. Let's have a look. Can you see what's happening there on our ice? Yeah, see, the dock is all wet around it. Let me pick away some of the salt that we put so you can see. Oh, I feel a hole here where the salt is melting the ice and creating a hole. I'm going to use a little bit of our water to wash away some of the salt to see if it helps us see our holes better. Oh yes, look at that, boys and girls. You can see how the ice is melting under the salt. That was a fun experiment. I hope you enjoyed that, boys and girls, and I hope you have some ice fun too at home. Don't forget, you don't have to live on the lake or have ice out in front of your house. All you have to do is have a freezer with ice cubes. Or you can get a container and make yourself a giant ice cube, maybe as big as mine, and have some ice cube fun trying to make it melt with salt. Well, that's it for Science Wonders today, boys and girls. I hope you had a great time. Bye. Well, boys and girls, I realized that we had a blooper in our video today. So I'm going to add this on at the end so you can get a better look at what's happening to our ice. Just a moment. There we are. Do you see? It's starting to crumble and melt away. I had the same blooper problem the first time I tried to record the video, and so this was our first experiment that you didn't get to see. So it's about 20 minutes ahead. But right down here, I see a hole that's been created, and holes there, and holes here, and here, that weren't there when I first put the ice on the dock. So we know for sure salt does melt ice. Sorry for the bloopers, boys and girls. Have a great day.